Eagles get it back. We're going to run some clock, or maybe throw the dagger.
And welcome back to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I'm joined by my co-host, Miguel.
A.K.A. Benito's number one fan.
I guess I'm number 2 fan now because
Nice.
I enjoyed that Super Bowl halftime show. So we're back. We're post Super Bowl here. A couple weeks. Took off last week. Went on vacation. Here we are, just you and I, because Mark and Deuce, I don't know, they just kind of like evaporated in the wind.
Yeah, Deuce left us like Kansas City's leaving Kansas City, and Mark is in hiding like he owes people money or something. I don't know.
Right. You maybe that's possible. That's very possible. So we're here. This is going to be our round. Like we're rounding out the season. This is going to be our last podcast for a few weeks right before we come up and start talking about the draft. I just want to end this year's podcast. This will be our 4th year, going to our 5th. We do like to do our honors where the NFL does their honors. We like to do our team honors. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about a little bit of the Super Bowl and a little bit of the halftime show. And then some of the things that have happened, right, with the new hirings and firings, you could say.
Yep, and announced comebacks. People returning
yes.
already.
Yes. So going to follow us on Instagram, Squawking Eagles Podcast. Go over to TeePublic and look at our T-shirts. Got a lot of T-shirts over there. Got the Tush Push. Got the special Eagles, the Philly special over there. So check it out. So Miguel, I watched parts of the Super Bowl. Again, I was at Disney World, so the idea was I was going to be watching the Super Bowl with the Eagles in Disney World, but didn't happen. So I really didn't watch the Super Bowl. I watched bits and pieces of it, but I watched the whole halftime show. So the first half, the whole game was like a Thursday night football game. Like it was just a throwaway game, right? What did you say?
It did feel like that. Yeah, I think I tuned in real quick for like the beginning of the game, and then I just started chatting with the family because I just saw like this game was not going anywhere. It's pretty stale in the beginning. Led a couple field goals to start off the game, and yeah, I just pretty much tuned out. And then by the middle of the second quarter, everybody came into the area to watch the Benito Bowl.
Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed it. And how did you feel about it? What did you tell me about your reaction to it?
I love the story he was telling behind it. Everything that they showed on camera was intentional with the story behind it. A lot of people didn't understand why he was climbing telephone poles, and he was speaking about the power outages that are happening in Puerto Rico consistently ever since Hurricane Maria hit. So it was beautiful to me. So
if I don't speak Spanish, but I can tell stories, and if you're an intelligent person, you can see he's telling a story about his life, and him giving the Grammy to the boy who's watching him on TV. That was come on. How can you not like that?
That part was kind of like he was giving it to himself as a kid, like giving him inspiration to grow up to be somebody.
Like, come on, and then, like, how can you not appreciate that?
To have a real wedding going on in the middle of that.
Yeah, that was wild. I heard that they invited him to their wedding. Like, no, how about you come to the Super Bowl and get married? Yep. That's crazy.
That's awesome. Crazy. That's like the ultimate like dream to probably happen to anybody. Like that was awesome to do.
Yeah, and then to see other people like Lady Gaga was singing, and then you saw Pedro Pascal in there, and you saw what else? There's some other.
One of the Kardashians was in there.
Was in there.
One of Chloe, I think Chloe was not Chloe.
Maybe no, Courtney.
Courtney. I don't know. One of those guys. I don't know.
One of them.
One of them. 17 of them. I don't know.
But it was cool to see those people out there supporting it and being part of it.
Yeah. It was definitely dope to see those celebrities jump behind Bad Bunny, and then even to know that Cardi B was out there as well.
Yep.
To have the support that he received from a lot of Hollywood and also other artists out there that really supported what he was doing was great. I think the only downfall of it was too short. In my book, it was too short.
It was short. It was short. But you look at he has a certain amount of time. They got to get all those people, those bushes. Those bushes were people.
Yeah.
That was crazy. So
it was good because they were only allowed to have certain amount of things with wheels go onto the field. So to have people dressed as trees, I would have loved to have been one of those trees.
That would have been awesome to do
dope.
that. Yeah. But like they did, it's a wonderful storytelling through all like this, just walking through the scenes and like that, and a beautiful message at the end too. Like there is nothing stronger than love than hate.
The only thing more powerful than hate is love.
Yes, so that was a great message. So kudos to him to not get to see it in Spanish and not to flinch and say, okay, I won't speak it. That's good that he did that. That was great.
Yeah. I mean, if you like the pre-recorded, Kid Rock version of Halftime where he was talking about having minors and young children, if that's what you like, then that's what you like, I guess.
Someone said they were going to boycott the whole halftime show, and it was still on in their room and they were watching it. So
he still watched it and commented.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous. It's so asinine.
Yeah.
So then after halftime show, again, like the second half was pretty much the same as the first. Kenneth Walker ended up walking away with the MVP, which he had one big play they kept showing over and over again. They had to give it to somebody, I guess, right? And Darnold didn't have a good enough game to even give it to him, so they had to give it to.
I mean, I don't know if you can give the MVP to a kicker, but I mean, the kicker probably deserved it more than Kenneth Walker deserved it at that point.
That'd be amazing if they did that. That'd be hilarious.
And Mike, let me tell you, I had this 8-leg parlay.
Man, you said that to me,
dude. I hit on 6 of them, and because Nick Digba got hurt and didn't come back until late in the fourth quarter, I missed my parlay, man. I would have won $8,000 on that parlay.
Man, that was sick. You sent that picture to me. I was sick over that, man. I hate those parlays, man. Those long ass parlays and all these legs on them, and like, all right, and then no. It's always that one. It's always the one.
And I didn't think it was going to hit because of the way the game was going. The fourth quarter, like the last 5 minutes, is where everything picked up, and I started getting the yards that I needed. And I was just like, man, this fucking sucks, man. To get home and to see that on top of like having watching the shitty ass game, but
it was a good Thursday night game. That's what it was. That was not a Super Bowl game.
It was.
We've been spoiled with the Chiefs and Eagles in these games. We've been spoiled.
Yeah.
But good for Sam Darnold, the first quarterback in the 2018 class to get a Super Bowl before Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and all those other guys. So that's good for him.
Yeah.
So preseason, I mean the postseason now is upon us. There was a lot of speculation about who's going to be back as an Eagle. We just found out that Lane Johnson is going to come back. We found out that Landry Dickinson was thinking about retiring because of his all of his injuries that he's had over this past season, but he will be back this season.
Nice.
People who are not going to be back is Jeff Stoutland. So he wasn't fired. I guess he just kind of walked away because of the year kind of took a toll on Jeff Stoutland. I think they took away a lot of his responsibilities. They stopped, I guess, talking to him about the run game situation. And I guess when they brought in Sean Mannion, they also brought in a different offensive line coach from Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that happened, I guess the writing was on the wall for Stoutland, and he stepped away. It's going to be a different. It's going to be a different team this year because I guess you could say the way they're going to be calling plays is much going to be different than this past year.
Yeah.
More like kind of like 2024 was, I would say.
Yeah. It's
Milana,
definitely.
I think Jordan Milana is going to have the hard time. It's the most hard time with this. So
Yeah, I think the whole offensive line may struggle. I mean, Lane Johnson has been with Stoutland for I don't know how long. I mean, Mailata has been there ever since he got drafted. Has known nothing but Stoutland. At
yeah,
least Lane had some experience with other coaches. Um, but yeah, I think this year's offense is going to look a hell of a lot different. I think we're going to see a lot more pre-snap pre-snap movements.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we'll get to see Jalen be a lot more mobile, getting back to the elite level that he needs to be at. Because you can't be elite without being mobile. If you're
For
just a
sure.
pocket passer, you're just a pocket passer. So
Right. I just watched New Heights. They did Jason Kelsey did a breakdown of Sean Mannion's offense coming to the Eagles and point out there's a lot. He does a lot of motion, pre snap motion, where he takes the wide receiver from the strong side, brings it to the weak side of the line, and they ended up running either a quarterback, kind of like the pass option, the run play.
right.
And it kind of works. It kind of like throws off a lot of the linemen with the motion. I understand the motion. I think Kellen Moore did motion, but not as much. I think this is going to be. There's going to be a little bit more. I think in this game,
We
in
have
this
we have
play
to evolve.
calling.
We have to evolve. We can't
You
stick
have
with
to.
the same stale stuff. Like, all right, I get it. I get the argument. Oh, this is Jalen's sixth offensive coordinator at this point.
I think it's like if you go back to like college, it's like 11. I think
Well, I'm talking about as far as a
then it's
member of the
six
Eagles.
or six. It's
Yeah, five.
6 or 7. 6 or
Yeah,
7.
6
I
said.
think so. Six
Uh,
said.
but it'll speak highly of what Jalen is at this point, right? Because if he could still be successful with this amount of coordinators and no consistency, just speaks to the eliteness of Jalen.
Well,
But
speaking of how Jalen is elite, the Super Bowl, like they guess they brought in a lot of elite quarterbacks to
Mhm.
celebrate the honors, and there's only one active quarterback in that group.
Yep, Jalen.
That's our Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
So the guy wins. The guy
Yeah.
wins.
But it's going to. I'm telling you, this year. I mean, and I started. I feel like I'm going to take credit for a lot of this Jalen talk that's going on in the national media because a lot of people are saying what I said after the last game of our season. I think we go into this next season going with Jalen and Sirianni hand in hand on the hot seat. Because I don't.
Both.
Yeah, yeah.
I know Nick Sirianni is going to be on the hot seat this year, 100%.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's got to be at
Yeah.
this point. I mean, and it's crazy that we're speaking like this because we're, a year removed from winning a Super Bowl. The previous year we lost the Super Bowl, and a couple years prior to
Yeah.
that, we won another one. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of sad that after 2017, after winning our first Super Bowl and thinking that Doug Peterson and Nick Foles gets their statue outside, you would have thought that we would have had the same praise for Sirianni and Jalen at this point. Like they
Yeah.
brought him home another Super Bowl, and we're quick to really just move on from him. Like they didn't do anything of significant in this
Yeah.
organization, and they have. And I feel like Nick Sirianni is one of the winningest coaches in the NFL right now. He's
Yes, he is.
gotten to the playoffs every single season that he's been a head coach. And Jalen, I mean, just look at his record. I'm not sure what it is right now, but he's got one of the best records as a starting quarterback that there is right now. And
Could
we're
you
still,
imagine if the Eagles, if Jalen Hurts had the game that Sam Darnold had, what kind of
yeah,
talk and like he would have be getting, even if they won the Super Bowl,
yeah,
how much heat he would have gotten?
exactly. And it's just
It's
like we
terrible.
said in that last podcast. If Jalen would have got 87 yards on a winning on a game that they won by, I guess, luck,
Yeah.
we would have never stopped talking about it. Like
Never.
we would have been like, what was Jalen doing out there? But Drake May gets, all this credit in the world, and he goes in the Super Bowl and plays like shit, but people still are ranking
Yeah.
him ahead of Jalen, and I don't get
Yeah.
it.
He's ranked 70. No, wait. They just ranked the top 50 quarterbacks. I think he was like 37, Jalen Hurts.
It's fucking ridiculous.
And then there's Drake May was a lot higher. Like there's I hate to say there's one difference I can see between very simple eye test.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's why I always go to that because it's so plain as day. Like the eye test. Why you think, like same with Josh Allen. Like you put these guys' stats together, you think that Jalen Hurts was trash, or that he's like a bottom feeder. He's like JJ McCarthy over here, like talking like
Right.
he's not. He's an elite quarterback. And people like playing with him. Like I don't know if you watched him playing at the Pro Bowl. Like the guy's got to like he's smooth. He's very smooth with his play. So I don't know. I like the guy. I'm not going to badmouth him this year. This beginning of next year, he still has time in my mind. Nick Sirianni, on the other hand, does not.
Yeah, and it's a shame. Like I love Jalen. I've been, I got his jersey right here. Got a couple more in the closet next to me. I hate that it's come to this, but this is what it is to be a Philadelphia Eagle. You're going to get this criticism, especially when. Mm-hmm. You could have done so much more to help this team be more successful, and you chose not to, or whatever the case may have been. Would have been the play calling or the coaching staff that tried to, quiet him down or settle him down into a pocket passer, or what the case.
Yeah, we saw what happened with Donovan McNabb, where they turned him into a pocket passer. That just kind of shortened his career, probably.
But I think that was more of Donovan's choice, because as he got older, Donovan got more heavier and wasn't able to move as quick, especially after he broke his ankle in that Arizona game.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I remember that.
He was never really the same after that.
Yeah. So I think this, like, I don't know if you probably agree. This past year for the Eagles, I would say it was a waste. It was a wasted year to just win a division and then one and done.
Yep.
I see it as a waste year, and I'm ready to turn the page.
Yeah, I am too. To be honest with you, after you sent the message yesterday that we're going to record a podcast today, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm already done with the season. I don't even want to reflect on it. Nobody stood out in my mind. I don't want to give an MVP honor to anybody because nobody on that team deserved it. So
there's one guy on the Eagles team that does deserve to be addressed, and that's the guy who led the team in sacks and interceptions.
Sacks and interceptions?
Correct.
And who would that be?
Jalix Hunt.
Interesting.
He led the team in sacks and he led the team in interceptions.
Really? How many sacks?
That he had 5. And 3 interceptions.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Standout player, and I would say he would be Eagles MVP this year because the guy. Who else? Nobody else had those kind of stats.
No, nobody else stood up. I mean, I would have loved to see Makuba been more of a impact player, but then he got hurt and he missed most of the season. Saquon was affected by the offensive line not being healthy, so can't give it to him. Jalen not being elite, like I said earlier, not running the ball, that took him out of contention for me. And then you had AJ Brown with his bullshit sideline antics. And then you have Devontae and Goddard. I mean, if I had to pick one of them, I'd probably pick Goddard, the way that he played.
Goddard, 11 touchdowns. Yeah, he had a good season. Yeah, he had a good season. Those two guys, I guess you could say one for offense, one for defense. Offensive MVP would be Goddard, and defense would be Jalix Hunt.
Yeah.
Beginning of the season, we did our predictions. We predicted who was going to be MVP, Super Bowl. So we said Jalen Hurts was going to be the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
We did not get that right.
No,
obviously. Not even close. I don't think nobody was talking about Jalen Hurts being MVP.
No.
Our offensive player of the year, we said Jamar Chase. Nobody expected Joe Burrow to miss most of the games and
hurt again
and be hurt. And so who got it this year was Jackson Smith Njigba.
Nick Jigba.
Nick Jigba.
Be careful the way you say that.
I don't know. We said defensive player of the year was Myles Garrett. We got that right. Myles Garrett was defensive player of the year.
You better be with all that fucking money they paid him.
Yeah, right. We said Ashton Gentry would be offensive rookie. Nope. It was McMillan from the Carolina Panthers, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Defensive rookie, we said was going to be Abdul Carter. No.
Nope.
It was guy from the Browns, Carson something. He's got a really long name.
Wow.
And then, of course, we predicted the Super Bowl champions would be Eagles, but they were not. They were the Seattle Seahawks. We were close. There was a bird. And then we predicted
darker green, slightly darker.
Yes. And then we predicted the Eagles to be 12-5, and they were actually 11-6. Yeah, it was a tough season. There was, like you said, there really wasn't that many outstanding things. I just watched on YouTube the Eagles put out most mic'd up moments of 2025. It really wasn't that great mic'd up moments either. It was just kind of, I guess maybe the cameras bothered them, or because they were during the Hard Knocks. I don't know if that was a situation for them.
That's what I'm starting.
But maybe it was the whole Super Bowl hangover thing. They kind of
hangover, the Madden curse, the Sports Illustrated curse, the Hard Knocks on top of all of that.
There's a lot of stuff going on. And then think about it, after the Super Bowl, it's like Saquon has a Wawa sandwich. Saquon's riding a deer in Little Caesars commercial. Saquon was all over the place. Yeah, he was Zen in State Farm, right? Yeah.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown
commercial,
right? Yeah, so they were all over the place. That kind of stuff kind of distracts you, right? Mm-hmm. So next year we're not going to see that. Now, sadly, we have this new offensive coordinator. What I would hate to see is the Eagles win the Super Bowl and this guy leaves yet again. How can the Eagles keep an offensive coordinator after they win a Super Bowl? Can that happen? Is that possible?
I'm sure they could if they overpay. They overpay, and if the teams that are interviewing that offensive coordinator is not a destination that he wants to go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's 8 new coaching changes this year. So
yeah, by quite a bit. And hopefully maybe there's not going to be a big run for coaches next year, is what you're saying.
We're all hoping for, but we'll see.
I would say next year, if the Bengals do not Zach Taylor would probably get fired, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, we saw in Cleveland, our former defensive coordinator,
Jim
Schwartz left the Browns, and he's looking for a head coaching position. He was upset that he didn't get the head coaching position over who they hired.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
If
a lot of coaches.
Fangio decides to leave next season, I guess we would have a replacement.
Yeah, because it sounded like he was going to leave this season. This past season was going to be his last.
Right.
I think they talked him into one more season.
Yeah, exactly. I think they did too.
So that's going to be interesting next year. We'll be talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the Eagles have again it's going to be a whole new team again. There's a lot of guys with contracts up. There's still a lot of guys with rookie contracts, but what's his name? Reed Blankenship. He's on a contract year. Nakobe Dean, Dallas Goedert.
And guess what's the number one team that the first 2 names you said are
I know. Yeah, Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of Dallas talk for Nakobe Dean and Reed Blankenship.
Yep.
I would be very disappointed if they go to Dallas. I'd be really. But the Eagles did lose their defensive back coach to Dallas,
Yep.
Christian Parker. He's now their defensive coordinator there. So, yes, it makes sense that they would go there because of the familiarity, but I would hate it. I would really hate it if that really
I would too.
happened.
But also, I think like who on the open market is going to replace a Reed Blankenship and Nakobe Dean? Like, I get it. The money value right now for Nakobe is probably high.
Yeah.
So,
well, Jahad Campbell is the Kobe Dean's replacement.
Yeah, true.
They drafted his replacement last year. That's that.
I feel like
I
he
don't
didn't
know
do much at the end of the season. Like, he was just
he faded away.
Yep.
Eagles are going to have to make a decision if they're going to sign Jalen Phillips. Like, he's a free agent. Like, these are a lot of, like, do they bring back Brandon Graham for one more year? Brandon Graham said he wants to come back if Howie calls him. Who else? Johan Dotson is a free agent. There's a lot of guys going to be up. I heard talks about Kyle Pitts being on the number one free agent coming to the Eagles.
Dallas Goedert,
Romeo Dobbs.
I've heard that as well. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not really looking. I'm not looking forward to those picks. Those guys.
I've also heard a rumor that we are favored to get the defensive end from the Raiders, Max Crosby.
Yeah, the what they have to give up isn't a lot. It would be a first-round pick and like a fifth-round pick for Crosby, and I would do that because they can't afford to be paying these first-round picks after a while.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I would if the Raiders said yes, I would say yes. Please bring Max Crosby here.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely a game changer, and he definitely wants a new look, at least on life, by getting out of Las Vegas, because they're in a complete rebuild.
They sure are.
Even
though they're trying to convince him to stay, but
what's that?
They are trying to convince him to stay, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. And they just hired a new head coach.
Yep.
The Dolphins just hired a new head coach, a new GM, and they're cutting ties with all of those big contracts.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill is a free agent now.
Yep.
Looks like Tua is going to be a free agent soon. Kyle Murray is going to be a free agent soon. Like, this market is going to be hot. Come March. I think March 7th is the new year. So that's when all the carts have to be made before then, and that's when all the free agents are going to start looking for new homes. So it's going to be interesting. We will be back a couple weeks after the first of the NFL season. We'll be back to talk about the NFL draft, and of course, we'll do our live draft here on YouTube, like we do every year. We've done it. We're rolling into year 5, Miguel. Year 5 of the podcast. Wow. Yeah, so
it's been that long. It doesn't even feel that long. Jesus.
It doesn't feel that long, but it has been that long. It's been crazy. Yeah. It's hopefully this is the year we get more media presence. I hope this is the year.
I hope so.
Year 5. So I already sent a couple of emails about that to the new person at the Eagles and the NFL. So we'll see how that goes.
Let's see.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts of the season before we close this book in this chapter of our podcast?
No, like I said, I'm already done emotionally with this season. I'm surprised that I put my Eagles hat on today, but I guess this is like the farewell, like finish how we started. This is how we started.
Yeah.
It's been a fun ride. It's been a disappointing ride, but it's been a fun ride.
We've been lucky to have the Eagles be playing as good as they are at this moment.
Yes, we are very lucky about that. The only other thing that I can think of is that the rumors of the Eagles reaching out to build a new stadium is more in motion now.
Oh, I never heard that.
So I've heard that they sent out surveys to season ticket holders to find out what type of things they would like to see in a new stadium. So we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see. I'm thinking that the rumor is that 3032 would be when the Eagles will move into a new stadium. So,
Oh wow, that's not too far. That's not too far from now.
that's what, 8 years from now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that'd be wild to see the new stadium. But Mark always says build 100,000 seat stadium for the Eagles and they'll fill it. That's a lot of seats. A lot of seats.
It is. It is a lot of seats. But my main question is, will it be a dome or will it be an open field? Or will it be a retractable roof or what?
Yeah. The way the NFL is going, and I remember hearing something that they said that the last stadium they approved for being a non-dome was the Buffalo Bills. They said that was the last stadium they were going to approve to be non-dome. So we might be moving into an era where all stadiums are built are going to be domes, and it's going to take away the whole weather part of the football, and it defeats the purpose. It defeats the purpose of football, in my mind.
Yeah, I mean it's supposed to be played outdoors. Why would we want everything to be indoors now and take the weather out of it? Like that's the whole point. But I get it. These owners, they want to generate money.
Yeah.
Every NFL stadium wants to host a Super Bowl, and other big events that go on in stadiums.
Yeah.
So yeah, you might be right. We might be moving into a new era of what the NFL is going to look like moving forward. But hopefully, I would settle for a retractable roof, and the only caveat that I would put on it is that only football can have only for football games can the stadium be opened up. Like,
yeah, I would be 100% okay with that. Like, it's always open on a Sunday, a Monday, and a Thursday. That's you can do that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Like the way that football is going, the way that the NFL allows the referees to put themselves into to kind of control the game. That has to be taken care of. A lot of sports are kind of like baseball. Like baseball is on the verge of a walkout.
Yep.
Now, the last time they did that in 1994, it took them 4 years to get back to where they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they use steroids and live balls to do that.
Yep.
They can't do that now. They can't do that because everyone's very hypersensitive to it. So
they just fired the MLBPA president for some shenanigans that was going on. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting. And another thing, the NBA is also hurting right now. I mean, I just had a conversation with somebody at work today about how difficult it is to find an NBA game because now they're all over these different streaming apps and you don't even know what games are what. And then some of them are subject to blackout. The game's not sold out. The state of sports right now needs to figure out what the hell is going on because it should not be this hard to follow your favorite teams or watch a game. Like,
and it's like also the players. The players are very different. Look, Lindsey Vonn completely tore her ACL. Worked back 2 weeks before the Olympics, right? Works back. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna go and do it, and then ends up breaking her fucking leg. But it's like, oh, NBA player, I can't play 2 games in a row. Yeah. I can't do that. I gotta need rest. I'm like, really? You can't play back-to-back games?
Yeah, that's something else that the NBA needs to take a look at. They need to take a look at the what's it called? The load management.
Load management.
Yeah, the load management. I don't know. I know they probably won't think about it, reducing the amount of games because they already had these players paid for technically an 82 game season. So I don't know how much they're going to look at it, but they need to do something. They stop with the back-to-back games or something's got to change.
But they've always done back-to-back games. This isn't like new. It's not new that they haven't. This isn't brand new. They used to do it all the time.
But these players are running harder and faster up and down the court. There's more. Well, I wouldn't say physicalness, but these players are more in shape than previous players. You would think that they would be able to take an 82 game season and be able to play back-to-back games.
Yeah, you would think so.
Unfortunately, they can't. So I don't know. They need to make a change in something with the NBA, but That's not. We don't get paid to figure that out. So
no, but I did see this about tanking, which I think is a really I think it's a really great idea. Have you heard about this?
No, go ahead.
Huh?
Probably.
So
not.
what it is that after they play this season, and then once teams are mathematically eliminated, then they start they get a point system. So they get a point for every win, and at the end of the season, the team who's been eliminated has the most points gets the first pick. Okay, and the second pick goes to the team with the worst record. After that.
I didn't hear that one. That's
right. So like last year, the Sixers were eliminated when they at one point they had like 10 wins. After they're eliminated, every win after that is 3 points. Say 3 points. So they only had 24 wins last year. So they would have gotten 35 points, and they could have had the first pick because they've had so many points after being eliminated for so a while. It changes the game because then it makes it worth playing for.
Yeah.
You know, so that's I think that's where the NBA has to go to, because then it also takes out that whole I'll trade a generational talent Luka to the Lakers and get the first pick. I'll take another generational talent with Cooper Flag. If that takes that out of the whole thing.
Yeah, this is true.
You know what I mean?
We can't talk much because the Sixers kicked off this whole era of tanking.
Oh, they're responsible. They're 100% responsible for it.
But look where it's got us. Like, and I said this a long time ago. I was like, the basketball gods did not like that move. That's why none of those players worked out. That's why Embiid is always hurt. Fucking Joel Okafor was trash. What was the other kid's name?
Markelle
Fultz, yeah, he was trash.
Ben
Simmons, trash. He's out there.
Can't make it past the second round.
Yeah,
can't make it past the second round. Yeah, you're right. 100%.
Yeah.
Nope. And the Sixers have been paying for it ever since.
Yep.
The process, I would say, the process did not work.
Did not.
The process was supposed to yield a championship. It did not yield a championship.
We didn't even get to a final.
Not even a final. Not even a final. Yeah, but like this team, I'm actually excited for this team. VJ Edgecombe is a great talent. It's
an all-star MVP. VJ Edgecombe to you.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And then Tyrese Maxey is another. Like I knew he was going to be a good player. He's just even a better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I didn't think too much of him, but I love the way he plays.
Yeah,
I'm surprised how good he is, and it's good to know that this team has something to build on after Embiid.
Yeah, and because they play well without him, and so now his shin hurts, and now he can't play. He can play today because of his shin.
But when he's there, he opens up the floor a lot more for them. So
100%. Yeah,
it's like
it's tough, but it's not Embiid's team anymore.
No,
it's Maxey's team, and it's kind of like Embiid has to find his way in.
Yeah,
which is okay. It doesn't need to be that way. But anyway, that's another podcast. That's the dribbling podcast. We don't
dribbling Sixers podcast.
Dribbling Sixers podcast starting up next week. No, so yeah, that'll do it for us, Miguel. I appreciate you riding with me here and this one last one for the season. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you too, man. We're here. We ride or die. We like bad boys for life, bro.
Right. Where's Mark? Mark's crickets at this point.
Who's that?
Who? Mark who? I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
Dead.
You know how we do. EAGLES. Eagles.
Eagles.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.